We're back!
Back? Back where? There's nothing here. Where's the library?
Oh, right. We're still in the book, just not in the past anymore. Right, Theology?
That's right, Theo. I only took you back to the past so you could experience the lesson firsthand. But Emma, now that you've played your part in the story, I'm going to send you home.
But I want to hear how the story ends.
Oh, not to worry, you will. But I'll leave it to Theo to tell you all about it. Besides, I think your parents are getting worried about you.
Okay. Bye, Theo.
Hi, Emma.
Emma, there you are. We've been looking all over for you.
Oh, coming, Mom.
So, where were we?
Well, we just got kicked out of the garden because Adam and Eve sinned.
That's right. But we also talked about how their sin is actually everyone's sin.
Yeah, I still don't get that. I mean, they were the ones who ate the fruit, so how come everyone else gets the blame?
Let's look at the definition of sin again. We learned in the last lesson that sin is disobedience to God.
Yeah, but the only thing God commanded people to do was not eat off of the tree. And Adam and Eve were the only ones to do that.
Well, Theo, that was the first command, but it wasn't the last. You see, after that, God gave his people the law. That's the first 5 books of the Bible. God's law consists of more than 600 specific commands, but those commands can be boiled down to 10. We call them the 10 Commandments.
Oh, the 10 Commandments. My parents love that movie.
Let my people go!
Yes. Well, let's list them out, shall we? The first commandment God gave his people is that they should have no other God before him. That means no worshiping any other thing, whether it be a person, a statue, nature, or even money. They also couldn't make any idols for themselves. The third commandment was that they couldn't take the Lord's name in vain.
Well, what does that mean?
It means not using God's name carelessly. He's God after all, and his name should be revered and only used in a good and honorable way. The fourth commandment was to remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy.
What's a Sabbath?
The Sabbath day was one day set apart each week as a day of rest. People were not to do any work on this day. The fifth commandment is to honor your father and mother, to never disobey or talk back, but to always treat them with respect. The sixth commandment is do not murder. And the seventh commandment is do not commit adultery, which means to always be faithful to the person you marry. The eighth commandment is do not steal. The ninth commandment is do not lie. And the 10th commandment is do not covet, which means you must never be jealous of what someone else has.
Well, those sound like pretty good rules. I think I knew most of them already, though.
But have you kept them all, Theo?
Well, I think so. I mean, I don't think I do much wrong stuff.
Well, why don't we take a test? Here, I'll even make it easier. Let's just look at a few of the commands. Have you ever dishonored your father and mother?
I don't think so.
Have you ever talked back to them?
Not today.
But have you ever?
Well, sure, but...
Let's move on. Have you ever lied about anything?
No.
Did you lie to me just now?
Well, at least I've never murdered anybody, and I've never stolen anything, and as far as I know, I've never built an idol, so I think I'm doing pretty good.
Theo, how many times did Adam and Eve sin in the garden?
Well, just once.
And what sin did they commit?
They ate some fruit?
Let's look at the Bible. James 2:10 says this, "For whoever keeps the whole law and yet stumbles at just one point is guilty of breaking all of it."
So, wait, I could do everything right my entire life, do one thing wrong, and still be guilty?
That's right.
So, what does it mean if I'm guilty?
Well, in your guilty state, you can never be brought into God's presence because He is a just and holy God. It means that instead of spending eternity with God in heaven when you die, you would be condemned to eternity apart from God, in hell.
Hell? What's that?
It's a terrible place, Theo. A place you never, ever want to see. But a place that we all deserve to go to because we've all broken God's law.
Did you just say everyone deserves to go there?
It may be hard to hear, but yes. Romans 3:23 says, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God.
But if everybody falls short, then what's the point? I mean, how can I ever be good enough to make things right with God?
You can't.
Well, then why did he give us all these rules if he knew that we couldn't follow them?
Precisely.
No, I was asking a question.
Yes, but it was the right question, Theo. You see, you have just taken a very important step. You've realized that you can't do it alone. You can't achieve God's approval on your own. No matter how hard you try, you'll never be good enough.
But I don't want to be separated from him. I want to get rid of this sin. I don't want to be condemned anymore. I would do anything to make this right.
Well, Theo, I think you're ready for our next lesson, the most important one of all. Are you ready to find out what it is?
I don't care about lessons anymore. I just want to be free from this sin.
Come, Theo. Follow me.